Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, we're taking a look at Wuyang, the next newest hero in Overwatch, a new support hero. So let's jump in, let's take a look at his abilities. I'll share my thoughts on the hero, some gameplay you'll get to see of me playing him. All fun, you know the drill, you know how this works, so let's dive in here.
You know what they say? Just go with the flow.
Yeah, Wuyang, let's go with the flow. So, here's our newest hero, Wuyang, support hero. Interesting hero, very unique hero, I think, based on his kit. So, let's start with his primary fire, the Xuanwu staff. If my Chinese pronunciation is bad, I am sorry. I have never studied it. So, with his primary fire, his left click, he fires a damaging water orb. You can hold to control its trajectory and empower its explosion. So, normal shot you can see here, kind of weak, doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I didn't count how many shots, but it was a lot. Hold it down, use it empowers, and way more damage. And fun thing you can do with it is you can turn it. You can see, move your mouse and it'll turn it.
Fire wasn't right for me. You can use
it for corners if you want. Just do one fun. If you're wondering how much tracing, that is his primary fire. His secondary fire is the restorative stream, in which you place a passive healing stream on a target, an ally, of course. And you can also hold on to the target to manually heal at an improved rate, which will consume your healing resource. So you can see that's the neutral healing, just with it on there. You can of course shoot while this is active. But there's also the active healing, which if you hold right click, you heal much higher rate. So you can see there's a healing resource that will drain. The passive healing, of course, does not drain the healing resource, so you can just keep it on the target. They'll heal totally normally, totally on their own. It's not going to heal massive amounts of damage, but you can use it to keep your tank healed up in the middle of an engage, and then use your right click when they really need that top up, just to kind of keep them going. Next ability we're going to talk about is the left shift ability. You can see it on there, the Rushing Torrent. This is a movement ability. You can use it to ride water, and you will move faster. And Vitality. It's a normal jump, much higher, clearly. And the other ability is the E ability, Guardian Wave, in which you send a water wave forward that increases the amount of healing received by allies and knocks back enemies.
I'll keep you on your feet.
When I used it, they got a kind of the yellow buff that you would associate with Nano Boost or with a Bionade. So they get that, so they take more healing when you heal them. And then, of course, it knocks back enemies. You can see these guys taking some damage, catching the wave. And let's
Here comes a big one.
So that's how that works. Yes. Then there's of course his ultimate Tidal Blast. It protects an ally or yourself with water that detonates after a short duration. The explosion knocks down enemies and massively heals the host target. So we heal himself here.
Reverse the tide!
You get a little overhealth. Does not block damage. It's not a bubble. But overhealth is kind of good. Almost nano-y kind of ability.
Always good to
not that strong. You're not getting a major, boost to healing or anything like that. But there is a little burst at the end as well that heals, as well as the overhead. So those are his main abilities. Of course, there are the perks we can look at. So these are his minor perks. You have Overflow and Balance. So we'll just take Overflow, since it's right there. And then there's Ebb and Flow and Falling Rain for the major perks. Stop to look at those. Let's start by talking about the first one I took, which is Overflow. The way this one works, as you see, we can kind of shoot this out. And
I'm on fire!
See, when you charge it up, it uses half of your ammo, by the way, in case you're wondering. And then we'll burn from
No
the
worries,
resource.
I've got you.
And then, oh no, we're in a pinch. We use shift.
Right the way.
Heal a resource back. And we are back to full ammo. First of all, it doesn't give you over ammo or overcharge.
Out here. Need a refresher?
33% return of your charge and 10 ammo that you've already used back. And then the other one took is ebb and flow. You can see the way this one works. You can shoot the E out, and it will rewind to its starting location after you send it out, dealing 50% decreased damage while you're running. So, there it goes. Back it comes. I believe the healing numbers on it are the same. I believe it heals when it comes back, and it does the same amount of healing. I don't know for sure, but it does reapply the effect. So I think it is actually a very good ability for that reason. You can get
come and get me.
Very nice. Take a look at the other two perks real quick.
I
because
will
they are
not
fun.
leave it broken.
You know what they say? Just go with the flow.
So balance, where your restorative stream passive healing is increased by 40% for 2 seconds when you deal damage with water orbs. And falling rain, where you simultaneously control 3 water orbs that deal 60% decreased damage and a 25% decreased power explosion radius. So let's pump this on this guy.
You can count on me.
You can see he's healing kind of whatever. He's able to out heal this damage. Takes a little bit of time. Pump it on this guy and start turning out some damage. You can see the orbs there. Look at the increase to those healing numbers. Look at how much faster that is.
I've got you.
I actually really like this ability.
I'm on fire.
I think they pair well together. This combo, just because you have, it's easier to hit your damage when you have this one, and you get healing. Nice combo. But we'll see how it looks in game as opposed to just the practice range. It's really only varies so much from the practice range. And while we're at it, let's bolt on an ally. Not that it will really go so you can see it.
Reverse the tide!
You won't actually run into the enemy.
I'll keep you
It's
on your
just
feet.
fun. Anyway, there you go. Those are Wuyang's abilities, his kit, all that kind of stuff. So let's now jump over, look at the gameplay. Having played some games, what are my thoughts on Wuyang? And jump to that. So why don't we go over to me after that has happened. Right? Okay. Let's go. All right. So, it's several games and many more hours later. I have thoughts on Wuyang. I have played some Wuyang. So, let me dive in and give you some of my personal feelings about the hero and about the things that he does. The things he does well, the things he does not as well. So, this gameplay you're watching, by the way, is my very first Wuyang game. So, you will see me do some things that are kind of stupid because I am still learning the hero very much. So, keep that in mind. There are some bad plays here, but I digress. My initial response to this hero, I think this is maybe, and this is going to be a crazy hot thing to say, and this could change. This is obviously after only a few games. This is maybe my least favorite hero in a while, added to Overwatch 2. I don't love I don't love the kit. I don't love the way it feels to play. There's obviously going to be some skill expression in that. There's going to be some kind of learning the hero over time in that. The primary fire is pretty bad. It's weird because like it's one of the most fun parts of the kit to use. Like aiming it, like bending the shot around corners is like really fun, but it does 0 damage. It like actually feels like you're doing nothing when you're using it. And I also this is also like a me thing. Part of it is like I'll go to shoot it like out, and then it doesn't hit a target, and I'm just holding it for a while, and then you can't do anything while that's happening. That's a me problem more than anything else. But I don't love the way he feels in that regard. His perks are fine. I'm still trying to figure out which ones are the best. I think in general, with Wuyang, I think a lot of people are going to pick for his minor perk. They're going to go... I have to refresh myself on the actual names of the perks and the exact specifics of the perks, so give me a second. I think in general, most people... For the major perk, I definitely think they're going to go with the wave one. I think Ebb and Flow is probably his best major perk. I like Falling Rain a lot, mainly because it makes the shots easier to hit, and I think Falling Rain pairs well with Balance, where, you know, Balance, whenever you do damage, you do more restorative stream passive healing. And so I think with Falling Rain, it's easier to hit your target, which makes it a bit more consistent on that balance procking or popping, however you want to use it. And so in that way, I think those kind of work decently well together. Overflow is an interesting one. I like Overflow personally. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who said that they were like, yeah, I actually think Overflow might be the worst of the perks. So people are going to have different opinions, different feelings about it. I like it. I think it's actually pretty good. I think having a perk that reloads you, especially when you can use it in an engage, is very, very good and very, very nice. So I do kind of like that one. But I think Balance will probably be the better of the two. And then I think Ebb and Flow will probably be the one that most people take, because you're getting to use your wave out and back, kind of doubling up on the healing, doubling up on the damage, even if it is a little bit less. Healing is always good. And I think the healing is the same when it goes out and when it comes back. So in that way, it is pretty good, all things considered, I guess, in that kind of combination. But yeah, I don't love the way he plays. I think a lot of that also comes from just trying to find out what place he will have in compositions. I think he feels kind of like a Brig replacement in certain rush comps. You think about paired with like a Lucio or a Juno, where he needs speed. I think he needs he needs something that can speed boost him in. He is not going to do well without speed boost, in my opinion. I think it is a major, major, major thing that he needs. I think for the way he plays, obviously he can speed. He can't really speed allies, which I think is kind of his downside in a rush comp. But I think with with the wave, the Guardian wave, being able to use that as you engage, you can push some enemies back, is pretty good. I think his shift is probably, which is Rushing Torrent, his shift. I think that is most likely going to be predominantly an escape tool. I just don't really see it being... You can use it for your engages, obviously. You can engage in a fight using it. That is a good way to enter into a fight. But I think it is really his main escape ability. And it's part of why I think the issue with Overflow as a perk is you kind of want to save your Guardian or your Rushing Torrent for whenever you have a need to escape from a fight, as opposed to wanting it for when you kind of want to engage in a fight. So I think that's really what I think is kind of the hero's identity. I think he's probably in that Brig category. You'd pair it with a Lucio or a Juno or like a Moira. I think he's very different from Moira. The irony is, of course, Brig and Moira are two heroes that I love. They're my two most played heroes in the game. I don't love his particular kit, unfortunately. It feels kind of clunky in a way that, like, Lifeweaver at launch felt clunky. It's not that level of clunky, I will happily admit. Lifeweaver was like a special breed of clunky at launch. Wuyang's not that way, but I do feel like, at least to some degree, he is just lacking in utility that feels like good to use. I don't know. His primary fire really is the thing that bothers me the most. It's weird to use. I like the way his healing works, I will say. Like, the fact that you can leave the healing on an ally or focus healing, and they are totally, like, separate resources. You don't burn your healing resource by putting the passive healing on somebody. It's only when you're actively healing, which is kind of Zen-like in a way. Very different from Zen in terms of the amount of damage you're doing, but in the sense that you can heal an ally and also, like, do damage, which is also why I think the balance perk is probably his best minor perk, because it lets you be more offensive. Even though I don't really like Wuyang offensively, I don't really find him very engaging and fun offensively. That's kind of where I sit on that. But those are my initial thoughts. That is what I think about Wuyang. That's how I feel about his kit. That's how I feel about the hero himself. Not my favorite. I'm definitely interested to see how the pros use him when we get to him in OWCS, and then also just in general after some more time with him, to see if my opinion on him changes, because I am one to change my opinions on certain heroes. Juno I liked from the start, and that didn't really change, but, like, Lifeweaver I'm still kind of like on. I'm still kind of on, like, Batiste after all these years, so we'll see how things go, but I'm definitely excited to see kind of the synergies that happen with him in the game, the different kind of comps that he works well in, the different heroes he works well in. So that's what I'm feeling. But let me know your thoughts on Wuyang in the comments down below. If you sat through some long queues, I sat through like a 17-minute queue to play a game, and it was a brutal loss. So that was fun. That was a fun experience. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the hero in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want more like it in the future, consider liking and subscribing. Your support does mean a lot, even though I've not uploaded in a while. I still appreciate any and all support. But that's going to be all for me for today. Thank you all so much once again. I hope you're all staying safe and staying healthy. And until next time, bye-bye.